Hi, welcome to Family and Fit, where we talk fitness and how to integrate it in your busy lifestyle. So today we'll be talking intuitive eating. Intuitive eating. What is intuitive eating? Should you be doing it? Does it work with fitness? And can you actually obtain and maintain results with intuitive eating? Well, let's get started with what is intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is essentially kind of just eating at will while using knowledge that you've obtained somehow to know what foods to eat, when to eat them, and also to go along with if you're in a caloric surplus or a caloric deficit, whether you're trying to gain muscle or lose fat, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So intuitive eating is essentially whenever you gain the ability to look at a food and kind of know how many calories are in it, how much protein, how much carbs, and whatnot. And you don't have to know them exactly. Your body is it's not gonna get huge and fat off of 50 calories. You'd take a year or two, but if you ate 50 extra calories every single day, you'd a year or two before you noticed any difference. If you were eating just above your maintenance calories, and same thing with if you're trying to lose fat. If you just ate 50 calories less, you wouldn't see any results for almost like a year or two. So there's actually math behind it. You could add that up. I don't know if those are the exact numbers behind it, but it's such a long period of time that you would not visibly probably notice any change until years down the road. It'd be such slow progress, whether it be a fat loss, fat gain, muscle loss, muscle gain, whatever's happening. But with intuitive eating, it's actually something that I practice and that it does work for me. Now, for somebody to be able to do intuitive eating, they kind of have to, at some point in time, track their foods. They have to break out the food scale and weigh out foods. You got to weigh out your chicken, weigh out, every food that you eat. And what will bring to your attention is that certain foods are just so dense in calories that they're mind-blowing. They're like so. First of all, put yourself in a caloric deficit. That's the best way to determine foods that you may want to stay away from. Because when you're in a bulk, it's not that big of a deal. And also because you're trying to save calories and you're trying to save money, you're trying to hold on to money. You're trying to say, ooh, what can we spend here and there? You know what I mean? Whereas if you're trying to blow money, you're not thinking about any of that. You're just spending money here and there. So same thing goes with trying to lose fat or gain muscle. So I definitely would say that you need to be in a caloric deficit when you're doing this. That way you really pay attention to your calories that you're eating, what the calories are coming from, and just kind of keeping that nice balance. And like I said, you're going to act like you're saving money because you'll be like, ooh, I only have 2,000 calories to eat. What can I eat from here and there? And you'll really find that there are a lot of foods like peanut butter, 2 tablespoons. That's not very much. That's 200 calories almost. And it's mind-blowing how many calories are in such a little proportion where you could eat a whole big chicken breast. I'm talking about big chicken breast, and it'd be about 200 calories. So it's you in a cut, you'll start to notice, wow, I'd rather eat this big old chicken breast than these 2 little bitty tablespoons of peanut butter that's hardly nothing. And so that's where you'll really gain some benefit by tracking your food. So in order to do the intuitive eating, you have to track your food. And then you'll start to notice all those foods. And after you notice them, then you can just kind of take them out of your diet. If I know right now that I want to cut, I will take out foods that are like peanut butter, take out foods that are, just high in calories, nuts.
These nuts. Got him!
But I've really cut out so much in my life that's just super high in calories. Intuitive eating, being able to distinguish what food has what calories, what amount of protein, what amount of carbs, will really, really help with being able to do intuitive eating. If you don't have that basis, it'll be so hard for you to do intuitive eating. The thing with intuitive eating, staying lean, bulking, or with intuitive eating, it's intuitive. So it's not just eating what you want. The difference is with eating what you want is, say for instance, you may eat until you start noticing you're getting fat. and you're like, oh God, whoa, I didn't notice I gained that much weight. Or you'll step on a scale like a week later, oh my gosh, I didn't notice I gained that much weight. And then you'll be like, oh, then you'll cut back on calories, and you'll have to cut way back, and then you'll start losing a lot of fat, and then you'll be like, okay, now it's time to gain maybe some more muscle. And the problem with that is you're going to gain so much extra fat that you don't need, and you're going to have to cut so much harder than what you actually have to cut, that it just becomes kind of not worth it to eat that way in the means of just eating what you want. And with intuitive eating, it's like I've established a wisdom with foods that I can look at them and know whether I can make them fit my macros or not. So let's give a prime example. Tonight, I'm gonna eat a kind of not healthy, like popcorn chicken type of dinner, and I cooked them in the oven. So that cuts back on any like fats from like olive oils or just oils that you may cook the chicken in. I always used decent quality chicken. A lot of times you can tell like the quality of the chicken. Like if you bite into it and it's like a McDonald's chicken nugget, and you can tell it's just like at one point in time was a paste. It's probably not good quality. You wanna see those fibers in there. Like you wanna be able to break it apart like the way you do a chicken breast to see the fibers of the meat. So first of all, I know that I'm eating a good quality meat, which means that the fat content will be a lot lower, because whenever you have the not so good quality meat, they're more like hot dog quality meat, and they have just a lot of fat in them, and their macros are way off. So that's something to definitely pay attention to. And now the next thing with the meal is that the popcorn chicken's obviously covered in a bread, so I know that's kind of like my carb. So what I can do is I'll do like this popcorn chicken that has my protein and my carb in it, and then I'll do something like eat some broccoli with it, and that'll just kind of be more of a voluminous thing to help fill me up, get some micronutrients in there, because the chicken probably doesn't have that many micronutrients in it, just because it is processed chicken still. It's just a better quality of processed chicken. I think my shirt might be inside out or backwards. Another thing with intuitive eating, it's not just that I've learned to look at food and know how many calories it is. Like I know for a lot of foods like what the calories are in that. But a big step is going to the grocery store. When you're going to the grocery store, like look on the back of the product. You can compare two bags of like popcorn chicken, and one will be like crap hot dog quality, and the other one be like pretty much like home cooked lean chicken breast inside the popcorn chicken. So like if you pay attention to stuff like that, it might be like $1 or $2 a bag, and it's so much more worth it because these are gonna keep you more full longer. They're just, to me, I feel way better eating those, and the better quality ones. So after you figure out which ones are the better quality ones, buy those same ones every time. So now when I go into the grocery store, I know I'm buying this bag, that bag, this bag. Like I even buy chicken patties, like processed chicken patties. But I've looked at the macros on them, and they're just like so much better, and they're not super processed either. You can tell by, like I said, the fibers of the meat. That's what you really got to check. Is there the fiber of the meat look nice when you bite into it? Is there a bunch like hard stuff where you can tell they've added like bone and just stuff that they boiled, like just disgusting things that they add to really processed meats? You can tell that in the junk. But so I can eat stuff that's kind of junk food, but it's way better on the macro scale, and it helps with my intuitive eating and being able to eat daily and just know that I'm good to go. Like for lunch, I eat literally beef jerky for lunch. Like I've been eating beef jerky for lunch for a long time, and then I'll also eat like maybe egg whites or eggs, and those two meals kind of distinguish what my dinner's going to be like. That's kind of how I can intuitively track what I'm doing. So if I eat egg whites and I eat beef jerky for lunch, my macros can almost completely be filled up with carbs and fats, which means essentially junk. I could go home and eat honey buns almost, and that's not the food to eat. I'm just saying, like, I could almost do it and not gain fat and not have to worry about losing out on gains, because like I'm packing in so much protein at my lunch and breakfast that it's just a massive amount of protein. I mean, I'm probably sitting at least 100 grams of protein by the time I'm done with lunch, and I'm weighing in about 150, so I need about 50 more grams of protein. You know, what honey buns probably have like a couple grams of protein in them themselves. But so I'll come home and I'll eat a solid meal, but it don't matter what I eat really. Like I can eat like beans, which have a fairly low amount of protein in them. As far as like the protein foods go, and we're looking at like 7 grams of protein or something like that, 8 grams of protein, I believe. And or peanut butter would be perfect because it still has like 5 to 8 grams of protein depending on the brand of peanut butter you get. And I could eat peanut butter sandwiches when I get home and still be good because like I could eat 400 calories worth of peanut butter, get like 16 grams of protein. The bread has a couple grams of protein in it, so we're looking at 25 grams of protein or something like that. I'm just throwing random numbers, like not even trying to add them up in my head, just throwing them out there. Like I just know that okay, that's about 25 grams of protein. Boom. And then I still have more calories that I can consume because because of egg whites and the protein that I eat during the beginning of the day is so much lower in calories because protein's a pretty low calorie source, and so it just leaves all these other macros where I can fill up on other things. I can eat stuff like nuts and whatnot, and that'll still balance out with my diet very well. So a lot of it is eating, eating the same meals over and over again. It's knowing the foods, and just eating the same things, and also like packing in a lot of protein for my breakfast and lunch. Now it don't have to be like that. It could be the opposite way around. You could eat like a bunch of crap at breakfast, and then eat proteins for dinner and lunch. And I'm just using protein as an example because it's a lower calorie source. You get filled up on it faster. It's just like I said, do the cut, track your macros. You'll see what I mean. And it's just I like the breakfast and lunch thing because I can then reward myself at the end of the day saying, okay, now you can pretty much eat what you want. I love saving that and using it as a reward at the end of the day because you can eat like crap for breakfast, and then guess what? Lunch and dinner come around, and guess what? Lunch, the guys at work, the girls at work, they invite you out to lunch with them. So guess what? Now you're not having a high protein diet lunch anymore. Maybe they invite you to Chinese that has a bunch of sugar on it and everything. So it's going to kind of like throw off your macros there. And so now you're either stuck with like a super, super crappy dinner or just like not hitting your macros for the day. That's why it's so important if you're doing intuitive eating that you got to kind of plan things out a little bit. Like I don't even plan that stuff out anymore. It's just intuitive. It's just intuitive. Breakfast, lunch, simple. If I eat out for lunch, I'm not too worried about it because breakfast, I ate a solid meal, and that'll give me some macros for the end of the day. I just won't be able to eat as many breads and fats, like eat like guacamole. I have to cut some of that out. I just know, I'm like, okay, well, I did too much here, and then it depends on also what cutting versus bulking, Like whenever I'm bulking, I jump on the scale morning and night every single day, and I'm tracking, and I'm almost always weighing in about 4 pounds less in the morning than I am in the evening. And I just know that about myself. I almost always. I right now I'm weighing in the mornings 148, in the evenings 152. My weight's climbing actually. I'm on a bulk. What is going on with my hoe? Really good progress with it. I cut from like my first year of fitness because I was kind of like that fat skinny, and I just didn't want that. I wanted to get lean. That way I had a good place to judge myself by. That's another thing with intuitive eating. You want to get lean first. You want to have to be pretty lean, like where you can see a couple of your abs. And I say that because at that point it's a lot easier to judge by looking at your body. You can't just judge weight because if you're working out, you're going to gain muscle. So you have to judge weight along with the fat on your abs, and that's the easiest way to tell. I mean, you can check with other cuts, like if you check and you see like a little line in there or something like that. If that line starts to go away, you're gaining a little bit too much fat. And you can use just different lines on your body, but just the abs are perfect because like that's generally where you store your fat first, and it's just the stubborn area. So if you get to a lean enough point where you can see that, then it's a lot easier to intuitively eat. I literally judge myself daily to know whether I'm gaining too much weight or not. And that's where I was talking about, like, you could eat too much and then have to cut really hard. Being at a leaner body fat like that, you don't have to go as long periods of time with cutting and bulking. Literally, I'm on a bulk phase, and then I realize, oh, I'm getting too much fat around the ab area. Let's cut back on some of that food there and just have a good solid day of not eating as much, And then that kind of gives it a reset where, like, it'll be just enough calories to kind of bring it back, maybe 2 or 3 days of eating light, and that'll just bring your abs back a little bit, get you more cuts back, and you can kind of just keep bouncing back and forth a little bit. Like I said, I'm primarily in a bulk, so I'm looking to gain some fat. I don't want to let my abs completely disappear. I never completely had them, but like my weight is going up so well. My weight is going up so well right now, and I'm gaining hardly no fat, if any. It's just because of being a newer lifter. But because of that, it's like I just don't want to mess that up. I want to keep what I got rolling, and it's working for me right now. So as soon as my abs start to kind of disappear a little bit more, then we'll look at going into more of a cut type of workout. And yeah. I hope this video helped you out. I probably left out some stuff, I'm not going to lie. The intuitive eating thing, there's so much to it, really, in the background. It's so simple after you learn all the little things, but it's all the little things that make it so simple. Just implementing the little things in your life. If you like the video, make sure you're sharing it with your friends. Another partner that you want to get into fitness. We're doing the family and fit thing here. Having a family, going to the gym, working hard. We thank everybody who watches us, and like and subscribe these videos, and we appreciate it. That's our payment, and we ask for nothing else. Maybe some comments and some feedback, maybe that too. But yeah, above all, we just enjoy you guys viewing. We enjoy helping people, and we enjoy spreading the knowledge, and we love spreading the fitness. That's all I have to say. I mean, I love it. Have a great day.